Hey everybody, it's Mark Yegi. Today is a special day. This is the first time that I'm actually giving the public an inside peek on what I call the JuiceLever Strategy. It's a strategy I've been working on for a long time, and people in my mastermind group have already gotten to beta test it and already gotten an inside peek on it, and a lot of them love it, and I certainly love it, and I think it's the next iteration, the next best thing of what we got going on here at the Cash Flow Machine. So if you stick with me for a few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this, and kind of you're going to get an inside peek too, because it's really cool. Like, it's the next level of covered calls, okay? And it does a couple of things. It takes away some of the downside risk. It helps you make a little bit more juice. I'm going to show you all that as we get going. But by the way, before I continue, I want to let you know that I'm having an event in September in Clearwater, Florida. It's called the Wealth Accelerator Live 2025. Kind of rhymes, but the idea is that we come all together, people that are looking to make income in the market. We learn some market strategies, including what I'm about to show you, and we're going to go over lots of really cool things, hang out, talk about things, set up our portfolio, set up our retirement strategies, our payoff strategies, and maybe even get some beach time in too, because it is going to be on Clearwater Beach. September 26th through the 28th. I'll have a little promo at the end if you want to sit and watch that. But right now, let's get into this JuiceLever strategy that I think you're going to really like. So here's a QQQ chart, and you could see we've been basically melting up for the last month and a half or 2 months or so. And we are now, pretty long in the tooth on this run, but I don't know if it's over or not. I don't try to predict the market. I try to play the probabilities. And when I trade the probabilities, sometimes, especially in this JuiceLever program, I use something called the Bollinger Band. And now these two dotted lines on the edge in gray are the Bollinger Band. They're a couple standard deviations away from the mean, and that gives you kind of a range. Notice that when it gets to the top of the Bollinger Band, it kind of corrects back in, and you can't see it on this chart, but when it gets to the bottom, it kind of corrects back in. And so right now we're here. So today, by the way, is July 10th, okay? Remember that date, because it's going to be important in just a minute. But you can see we're kind of creeping up here toward the upper edges of the Bollinger Band. So I fully expect in the next few days that it might drop down back to the middle. At least if there's some negative pressure, that's how this trade is going to set up a little bit. And that's called skew. But now you've got the kind of the picture of what I think of the QQQ. Maybe it's going to go up, maybe it's going to go down. But to me, it's not quite at the edge, but it's certainly near the upper limit of the Bollinger Band. So now what you're seeing is a chart on what I call the JuiceLever strategy. It's really a double diagonal strategy. It's a covered call, if you want to think of it like this, a covered call with a covered put. Okay, but I'm using synthetics on it to make everything cheaper and to make this whole thing work. So check that out. It's really kind of fun. So what I'm doing is I'm buying a deep in the money call right here at the 535s, and I'm buying a deep in the money put. Those are my base positions, okay? I'm going out to September 19th, so I'm going out a couple of months so I don't have to even think about these base positions, okay? I want them to kind of offset on their deltas. I want them to be delta neutral. Now, over here is where the real money is made, and that's on the short position. Now, I'm not, obviously, trying to see if this position is going to go up or down. In fact, I don't want it to go up or down. I want it to kind of stay within this range. And you'll see the range in these blue bars right here, right? 546.17 to 560. If the stock stays in this range, this is a profitable trade, okay? But the cool thing is it's only going out like 3 trading days. Today is the 10th. There's only 2 hours left in today's trading day. Tomorrow's the 11th, then we have the weekend. So this is going out to the 15th. So there's only a couple more trading days in this whole position. So what I'm doing is I'm selling the 550 puts, okay? And I'm also selling the 550 calls, right? So I have a bunch of rules in my program for covered calls, and I'm applying those same rules to the covered put side, okay? So you've got to kind of understand what we do for trade adjustments, because the money is made in the trade adjustments on the JuiceLever strategy. Hang with me here. It's going to be amazing. Let's just go over the numbers, and then I'm actually going to do the trade. So check this out. We've got a net debit of $29,000. We got a max loss. The most amount I can lose on this whole thing is $16,561. Now, these are just rough numbers because I haven't done the trade yet. But think about this profit. It's $1,639 if I did it right now at these prices. And that's about a 10% gain in a few days. You see that? my max profit is going to be $1,600 if it stays here on this plateau. Notice the little number, $1,600, right around that if it stays on this plateau. And I've skewed it slightly to the downside in case we get a bit of a pullback in the market, which is that Bollinger Band thing that I was talking about. Okay, does that make sense? I think that's pretty exciting. Now, I almost think it's too much to make 10% in that few of days, but I want to just show you, and I'll follow up with this video to see if we had any luck. But listen, this trade isn't just for 3 days. That's the reason I'm going out to September. My goal is to continue to make juice. Now we're going to make this juice and I'm going to show you what that is. In fact, why don't I show you now? So the 557 calls are slightly out of the money, but they give you $3 in juice, $2.92. The 550 puts are slightly out of the money, but they give you $1.24 and a little bit of room to the downside in juice. So when you add up all that juice, it really comes out great, and it looks like the max profit is $16.45. Look, it could go up, and if it goes up, I have to make trade adjustments. And it could go down. If it goes down below this price here, $5.50, I got to make some trade adjustment. That's cool. The money is made in the trade adjustments in this program. So you gotta learn or know how to adjust the trades for max profit. Okay, you got it? The cool thing about this is I kind of don't care if the stock goes up or down or sideways because I'm in it for these two contracts of the juice. So that's really the beauty of this strategy. Like in a covered call, you want the stock to kind of creep up. In a covered put, you want the stock to kind of go down, right? And when you have this JuiceLever strategy going, you kind of want the stock to stay sideways. It's similar to an iron condor if you guys have traded those, but I don't really like iron condors. I like this much better because it's a lot safer. By the way, notice the chance of profit is 58%. I like those odds, especially when it's only like 3 trading days, okay? So now let's do the trade. So the first part of the trade is we want to go and we want to buy these 535s. Remember I showed you what the in the money calls were, the 535s, and the in the money puts are 580s. So we want to do these 535 calls, 580 puts. So all I'm going to do is come over here and buy, and we're going to do 5 contracts on each side. So it's going to be a 10 contract position, 5 contracts of the QQQs. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're also going to go here on the other side and we're going to buy some puts. So we're just going to buy those puts for September 25, September 19th of 2025, place the order. It's a market order. And let's go ahead and buy those puts. Okay, so now we've got the put and the call. What I want to do is I want to sell the 550 puts and the 557 calls. So we're going to go to the 557 calls. We're going to sell those. Sell 5 of the 557 calls that are expiring. Okay, let's expand this a little bit more. Now we're going to do the 550 puts. So we're just going to sell those. Click sell. Sell the 5 contracts for the QQQs. 550 puts. Market order, place it. Done. Okay, now let's go back and check and see what the account shows. Okay, so now we're looking in my trade manager and we show exactly what we've got in here. So we've got long the 580 puts and we've got long the 535 calls, okay? And we've got the 550 puts short and we've got the 557 puts calls short as well, okay? So our goal, we got $2.97 in juice on this one. We got $1.24 in juice on this one, and that's what we're trading for, is the juice. That's the income. That's the extrinsic value. I should have showed you that on the other screen, but that's the extrinsic value. So if I say juice, you say extrinsic value. If I say extrinsic value, you say juice. It's so much more fun to say juice. That's why this is called the JuiceLever trade. It's got a little bit of leverage. It's got some juice in it, and it makes a lot of sense when you start to put it together. So I invested, my total cost is $34,025. And my goal is to just collect the juice on this, okay? And so let me show you what this is looking like right now. So here's what we want. You see this little blue line right in here? This little blue line is the first standard deviation. And so we want this to stay in that standard deviation. That's statistically where it wants to stay. But I've got to skew slightly to the downside. Now, the way the market's going, that may prove to be silly, but I've got to skew to the downside. If the market opens tomorrow, being Friday, or maybe Monday or Tuesday, to the downside, notice how this is still a plateau. I like this plateau, this little shelf here. And that's what I created by selling these calls. Listen, I could talk about this forever. I think it's really exciting. I've got a live webinar coming up on Wednesday, the 23rd of July at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Put that in your calendar, mark it in there. I'm gonna be talking about it a little bit more, but I'm excited. I'm gonna show you the ins and outs of the JuiceLever strategy. We don't care which way the stock goes. We like to collect the juice, it's income, and it protects the account from these big moves up or down. And I hope you like it. I know it's a lot to throw at you for a video, but I think it's pretty cool. Listen, I hope to see you either on that webinar on the 23rd or maybe in September in Clearwater, Florida. What if you could lock in reliable income every month no matter what the market's doing? Most investors are gambling with their retirement, hoping things work out. But hope is not a strategy, and that's why I created the cash flow machine, a proven system that works in bull markets, bear markets, and everything in between. Join me live in Clearwater, Florida, September 26th through the 28th for a powerful 3-day event that will change the way you trade forever. It's called the Wealth Accelerator Live. It's 3 days to build your income machine and rewire your wealth mindset. Here's what I'm going to deliver to you. A personal trading plan that you can use right away. Mastery of the Juice calculator to engineer smarter trades. Hands-on sessions with real traders showing real income strategies. Behind-the-scenes tools we never teach online. Now, you'll be in a room with serious investors, people just like you who are scaling income and wealth with this repeatable system. And we're keeping it small and intimate. Spots are very limited and we will sell out. Grab your early bird ticket today and let's build your income machine together. Hey, it's Mark Yagi, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that right now. That would be a great favor to me, and plus it helps me get this material out to a lot of other people that might need it. I've got a little bit of a movement going on here, and I want to try to change the world one person at a time, showing them that you can make safe, reliable income from the stock market. And plus it helps to grow the channel a little bit. Also, if you would give me a thumbs up on the video and like it, great. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, that's cool. But just tell me why you don't like it so I can get better. And then hit the notification bell so you can get these videos as soon as they come out, because a lot of times this is timely information and you want to get that information before it gets stale. The last thing is to join my free Insider Tips newsletter. There's a link below and you get everything in one spot. You get breaking news and analysis also. So that would be great if you could do that too. See you soon.